Hello, all Hoosier fans, Hoosier haters, and everyone in between. This is the Crimson Coliseum podcast. And today's second of three episodes that I'm recording today, I've got Allison back with me.
Hi, great to see you all.
And we're going to be talking about the IU women's basketball schedule that just came out on Thursday. So we're just going to highlight some things and give our own thoughts on it. So I'll just begin with the highlighting stuff. So our only exhibition game is against Maryville, which is a school down in Tennessee, which I just looked up like 10 seconds ago. But we do actually have a road game in the non-conference at Butler, which is kind of shocking. That might be
Hey.
for Sydney Parish, if I had to guess.
Oh yeah, because she's from around there. That
Yeah,
that
she's
could
from like
be.
that Fishers area.
And it'll be fun for them to play because Butler has a really good basketball stadium. So
Hinkle Fieldhouse is fantastic. I love it. They gonna get their payback against Stanford, hopefully.
yes,
Uh,
my fingers are crossed.
New head coach for Stanford. Who knows what's gonna happen? No Cameron Brake. Um, but
True.
but then the battle for Atlantis, which there's never been a time where both the men's and women's basketball has won the battle for Atlantis. So
No.
maybe a possibility. The first game is against Columbia, and then the second game is against the winner of Baylor versus Southern Mississippi. So that's probably not winner, either Baylor or Southern Mississippi. If we lose to Columbia, it's the loser of that game. Uh, but probably if we win, it's gonna be Baylor. That's probably what's gonna happen there. And then the final
Yeah.
game is one of four teams: North Carolina, Ball State, Texas A&M, and Villanova. I think it's North Carolina, Ball State, and then Texas A&M, Villanova are the matchups.
There you go. It's kind of
For
nice
the
that it's like kind of not in the Midwest area. Like a lot of them are from other places.
Yeah, and then obviously, and then we got the home and home against Maine. Uh, the home game against Southern Indiana, which I think is pretty cool because that's one of my hometown schools.
Yeah.
Um, it's the public university in Evansville, and
Mhm.
And then that's basically all the highlights I think from the non-conference. It's a pretty simple non-conference.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, looking at Big Ten, we start out on the road against Penn State, which a homecoming for Shea, which is I think is gonna be pretty fun.
Oh yes, that's exciting. I haven't looked in too much to the new players, but they all look like they're going to be a great addition, which I'm excited
Hmm.
for. So,
Yeah. Then you got UCLA at home. Uh, Speaking of homecomings, on January 24th, we play Oregon at Oregon.
yeah, that's definitely oh gosh. How is Oregon's team this year?
I'm not
Or
for
like last year?
sure. Last
Okay,
year, I'm not totally for sure, but it's a homecoming for Sydney, second
for
homecoming.
sure.
Uh, on the game before that, on the 19th, we're playing USC at home, which that's a loss.
Hey, you never know.
You get the. It'll be good to have Juju Watkins in Bloomington see her, but
Mhm.
she's definitely going to be a number one overall pick whenever she gets drafted, and she's only a sophomore.
Wow.
Um, but Uh, just looking at this, got Purdue on the road to end the season. I think that's going to be a good
Mhm.
game. Maryland at home as senior night's going to be a fun one. Hopefully, no one
Mhm.
gets injured, unlike last time.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Um, at Iowa on January 12th is going to be an interesting one that could decide who's in that top three.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how, because I know Iowa got some good recruits, but of course they lost so many good players and their head
Yeah,
coach. So I'm interested to see how that shakes out
yeah,
for them.
it's a completely different Iowa team. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
Um,
The Marching 100, though, is already supporting Caitlin
yeah,
Clark and Aaliyah Boston and Grace Berger. So, we're making friends with the Indiana
yeah,
Fever. I love to see it.
yeah, it's great. Um, I think I just watched that show, watched the show on YouTube like a couple hours ago, and I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Same here. It was fabulous. Let's
Um,
see.
and then we got just looking at this. on February 20th at home against Ohio State's going to be another good game because Ohio State's usually really good. So
For sure.
I think it's USC, Iowa, us, and Ohio State is like that top four contenders.
I
So,
like that list. Yeah.
and then March 5th through 9th is the Big Ten tournament, and that's always a great time.
Yeah.
Um,
Aren't they keeping the Big Ten tournament like not everyone gets to
yeah, it's like
play?
I think it's the top, I think it's still the top 14 teams
Okay.
or top 14, or no, it's the top 15 teams, and three teams get knocked out.
That is interesting. You would think they would either do 16 or everybody, but
Either
alas.
16, keep it at 14, or keep everyone. And obviously 18 is like kind of a hard, that's an awkward number to put for
Yeah.
a conference tournament, but
Yeah.
15 is like ugh.
It's a number, that's for sure.
It's a number. It's a number.
Hmm.
Um, just I have predictions for this. I think the ceiling, I think we go 26-2 and 15-2 in the Big Ten with losses to USC and at Iowa. And then the floor is 22-6 and I have 11-5 in conference. Losses being the Stanford game, probably go 2-1 in the Battle for Atlantis, um, USC, Iowa, Oregon if it's like they're actually really good, Ohio State, and like at Washington because we have at Oregon then at Washington, which I think is smart
Mm,
that they're doing it kind of in pairs with the road games cross country.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I can imagine it'll be an adjustment for them though. I'm trying to look. At least the 24th and the 27th are a Friday and a Monday, but like
Hmm.
I can't imagine the schools on the West Coast when they're traveling so often to the Midwest or the East Coast, like that's gonna be an adjustment, but I believe in them.
Yeah, I think if like teams are playing Rutgers and Maryland on the road, they'll do back to back with those. Um,
Yeah, makes sense.
with like Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State, Indiana, Illinois, Purdue, Northwestern, and then I
Hmm.
think Iowa, Nebraska, Minnesota, Wisconsin are the pairs.
Those sound like good pairs.
Yeah.
Let's
So,
see. I don't necessarily have predictions because I feel like I'll jinx them. But so I'll just echo what Alex said, but I do think it'll be good to see like I'm probably most excited for like the Iowa game and then Stanford and USC just because I know those will be really like crazy games.
yeah, that's fair.
Mhm. Yeah. And
I
it's
think
nice.
also,
Well,
yeah, I think also what's cool is that the BRBB schedule, like those break games, it's Bellarmine, Oakland, Wisconsin, and UCLA.
oh. Oh yeah, because they're kind of somewhat close to each other because it would be fun to get a group to go back to that,
Hmm.
especially the UCLA one.
Oh yeah, UC that would be a fun one. Yeah, it just really depend on my schedule because I'm all the way down in Tennessee right now.
Mm, yeah, because that's exciting though. Because January is when my work will start to get really, really busy. So I'll just cross my
Hmm.
fingers. And then maybe if not, I can't go to Bloomington. Maybe I'll just go to the Northwestern game because that's
Hmm.
pretty close to me. So
Yeah, yeah, that sounds like it. That'd be a fun thing.
for sure.
Um, but yeah, I like this schedule. I think it's pretty good. Um, my expectations are honestly pretty low though because we're losing Mackenzie Holmes. We have already lost Grace Berger. I think if Yarden takes that next leap into like a 27-5 player, I think we can be really good
For sure.
because I think she can play that well and then like 40+% from three.
Hmm.
But and with Mackenzie Holmes as a GA for right now, I think that's going to be really good help for like Lily Meister, Faith Wiseman, and all of the ladies
Sure.
in the bigs just getting like because she has probably the best footwork I've seen from a big in college ever. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's a really good thing to have her around. And since she's already been there for 5 years, like she has so much experience that she'll be
Yeah.
able to hopefully keep passing on. Because I know they like started that, of course, just like training together, especially with Lily the last 2 years.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
it'll
I
be
am
very
excited to
interesting. Yeah.
see.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah,
be very interesting to see how well Lily can do as a starter.
for
But the
sure.
games are a little over a month away.
That's crazy.
Basketball season's a little over a month away, and hopefully by that time IU is completely in bowl eligibility, so I don't have to stress as much.
Yeah, that would be fabulous. IU
Granted, I'm
football has
probably gonna
been,
stress a lot. It's gonna be a lot of
yeah.
stress.
Hey, but that's okay, you know? Fake
But
it
I
till we
wouldn't
make
be yeah, I wouldn't be a fan of
it.
Indiana sports if I wasn't stressing out.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah.
Less so with the women's basketball, though. They tend
Yeah.
to know what they're doing, at least a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Yeah, I'm not ready for the firestorms on Twitter whenever IU basketball, well, if IU basketball underperforms even a little bit.
Yeah,
It's going to be interesting to see. Uh,
for sure.
if you have Twitter, just don't have Twitter. Just don't have Twitter, honestly.
Good advice. Good advice.
Don't even though I still have Twitter, don't have Twitter.
Hey, it's okay. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yes, exactly, Jack.
Hmm. Oh,
Just calling out. Didn't even mean to do as I say, not as I do. But yeah, that's gonna be all for today. Thank you for watching for this episode. Um, next up is gonna be reviewing IU's win over Charlotte. That's gonna be a fun one. But thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Share on all platforms, and ask yourself who's gonna actually gonna win this whole thing for women's basketball.